every site you're going to have suspicious people, pretty much. And a lot of times what happens is you'll have somebody that kind of pings us, and somebody brought to our attention, and you'll have like a protective intelligence, usually it's a local police officer teamed up with an agent, plain clothes, and they'll go talk to the person, and a lot of times it's just a weirdo. It's nothing. Obviously, this turned out to be something. Yeah.
I mean, Alessi, do you have that video of I texted to you of the shooter while Trump was talking? Because this is another one. What I really want to get to is how the comms are set up with outside organizations. Because to me, that's where it looks like things went wrong here.
Yeah, I agree.
There was a video I sent. Yeah, let's pull that up on the screen. So this is a few minutes before, while Trump is talking. You can see on the look at this. Look at this angle.
It's fucking terrible.
Play it right there. The fucking guy is crawling across the roof. You'll see him like flipping over. Go back to the beginning of the video, Alessi.
And that looks
all the way at the beginning. All the way at the beginning. Watch him moving.
Yeah.
Like he's rolling around like a squirrel, and he's right. I mean, you want to talk about perfect high ground? It's right there. So
and look how close it looks too. I mean, that looks.
And they're making it look closer. Let's be fair.
Oh,
they're making
right?
it look because this is a shot from right behind Trump, so it looks like it's more in the foreground.
Yeah.
He's not, but like the size of him shows it's still close.
Yeah, it's really fucking close.
Because the size of him is like legit.
Yeah, I've seen that video.
So when you see things like this, there was also another video. I think if you can type on Twitter, Alessi, I don't think I sent you this one. Type in PD Trump roof or police body cam Trump. Yeah, type that in. Police body cam Trump. I want you to see this one because this really...
Is this the latest one?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I have seen this.
Yeah, it's on Twitter. Type it in. But yeah. So go to... I didn't send you this one, so that's my fault. But if you type in police body cam Trump... There's like 45 seconds where one of the police officers came around where the roof was below it. Go down a little bit right there. I'm just looking at your screen. Where, yeah, that one right there. Let's put that on the screen. So what he's saying is that we were trying to tell the Secret Service that someone was up there.
Yeah.
Play this real quick.
Yeah,
Is this 6 minutes? 30?
I've seen this one. I know which one you're talking about.
Play it real fast. Go ahead.
I don't think there's audio.
Fuck. All right, get out of it. There should be a 45-second one. This is my bad. I should have sent you this.
No worries.
Go down, right there. No, go down. Where the fuck is go down. That one. 29. 29. Oh, wait, this is the officer who tried to climb up and see him. This isn't even the one. Hold on. I haven't seen this. Oh, shit, yeah. Whoa. Okay, so that was all right, get out of that one. So that was when the guy tried to...
Yeah, they boosted him up, one of the officers, and he saw the gunman up there.
He boosted him up to see it.
And the gunman turned towards him, and he got down.
Type in...
Which I don't... I mean, the officer...
Oh, I don't blame him on
that.
Yeah.
He's like sitting there trying to hoist himself up there.
Yeah, there's... Fuck, there's a...
I know which one.
We're gonna pause real fast. We're gonna find this fucking video. Hold on. All right, we're back. That was entirely my fault. I forgot to send that to Alessi before, so we got it now. Sorry about that, everybody. But this is the video I was talking about, Mark. I'm gonna play this real quick with volume.
Come in. Is he down? I don't know. 5036. Go ahead. I need 5036, 5030. Start towards the farm sugar.
I told them they need to post the guys over here. I told them that the Secret Service. I told them that Tuesday. I told them to post guys over here.
I have no contact with either one.
What? No. We're inside.
Alpha 1, Bravo 1. Thank you.
There's the water tower.
Post guys over here.
I wasn't even concerned about it because I thought someone was on the roof. I thought that's how they count out when you lose a guy walking back.
They were
on the roof.
They were inside.
They were inside.
In the building. Because it's impossible. You need to go somewhere over on the west side.
Because I thought we were going to post guys over here. I talked to the Secret Service guys. They're like, yeah, no problem. We're going to post guys over here.
All right, cut it there. So, Mark, how did they even determine because like this does need to be said about Trump. You're talking about a guy who does more big public appearances than anyone in the history of this country. So I recognize it's hard. The fucking guy, even when he wasn't running for office, did a rally every week, right?
Yeah.
But how do they make the determination on, I guess he said Tuesday in that case, before this happens on Saturday, that like, okay, I think it's Beaver County PD, you guys are in charge of this, and we, the Secret Service, are in charge of that. How's that made each time?
Yeah, and no, this also illustrates another thing that there's two. I'll explain that, but there's also this. It shows a little bit too when we're talking about communication. The fact that they don't know or there's uncertainty also indicates that besides the radio comms, there may have been communication issues as far as making clear where the responsibilities are. So typically, the Secret Service agents typically on a site like this, right? You're going to have agents typically posted in places where the decisions are made, right? Meaning, okay, like maybe where the press comes in, or where the public gets gets magged and comes in and gets screened, those type of things, depending on the dynamics of the site. Because you're not going to put a local police officer who doesn't do that on a day-to-day basis in that position, because that's not their job, right? So what they'll use, and obviously, the closer you get to the protectee, obviously the closest perimeter, the closest group is that shift that we talked about earlier, the people right around the protectee. As you go out, as you get further out, then you're starting to use either agents or local police officers out that the further away you get from that inside. Think of it like an onion, the whole onion thing, like different layers. And as you get further out, you'll use or utilize the local police typically. So when I first saw this, actually, even before any of this stuff came out, the first thing I thought was, looking at the site, was that they would have assigned probably a local PD to that roof. And I say that only from the standpoint, not like I said, not deterring, not pointing blame at anybody or anything like that. Yeah. But typically you wouldn't use an agent in that situation in a typical site like that, because it's your one job is stay on the roof or wherever that the line of sight issue is. Have somebody posted there so nobody comes up there, because we don't want, because more time, obviously this is the worst case scenario. A guy gets up there with a weapon, right? But it could be just somebody going up there, a very ambitious journalist going up there to take a picture. But the whole, not that I give a shit about somebody taking a picture, but we don't want to, like you saw that video you played earlier of a guy just fucking walking around on the roof.
You don't want to shoot a photographer.
Yes, you don't want to think, you don't want to misidentify somebody thinking they're an assailant, or anything like that. So you need it posted, and really, it doesn't matter if it's an agent or an officer. You just need, but like the guy who was saying, "Hey, I told the service to post this." He's right. It should have been posted or somehow taken out of play. Like I said, when the acting director said that should have been inside the perimeter where you didn't allow anybody in there.
What was the good of putting people inside?
I can't explain it. I don't know what the site was. Obviously, this is an abject failure. I can't really, once again, I can't explain why it was done the way it was. Now, I do think, and you hit on this a little bit, is obviously there were comms problems. That's made clear in a lot of the reports. And I know that during the hearings, they were talking about, when they talk about comms, they were talking about mostly radio communication, right? But also the other concern is you wonder what, that video there, the first thing I thought of is like this guy saying, "Hey, I told the service to put this up there," or whatever. And once again, this is conjecture, but you wonder, are we communicating to the locals well enough so they know exactly what the responsibility? Were we acting under the belief that the locals were going to post that, and they were acting under the belief that we were going to post it, and then nobody fucking posted it? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But it felt like when I hear that, that's obviously a communication thing. Of
course.
And you have to, when you're doing a site and things like that, make sure everybody knows what their role is. Like going back to the football analogy, if you're going to be a pull blocker, or if we're going running to the right, you better not pull to the left. It's like everybody's got to be on the same sheet of music. And in our job, you cannot, you can't have a bad day. And this is a very, very bad day. It was very clear from this. And I don't know the answers to, and I hope that, once again, going back, I hope that we improve from this and get better at this. And I hope if something good comes of it, because this has been so terrible, but I don't know why the ball was dropped there. I honestly cannot. And I kind of got the sense from Acting Director Rowe, when he testified, he had the same kind of feeling. Like the way he talked about what was up there and saw it firsthand. Is it possible? Ultimately, we can't point the finger at the local police, but we can't do our job without the local police.
Yes. Yeah. I appreciate how you've been very upfront this entire episode and have reiterated several times that the buck stops with you guys because you're the ones in charge,
Yes.
the agency of planning this.
Yeah.
I do think to be fair as well, though, again, this should have never been allowed to happen, but I think we do have to point some blame on the PD here the more I look at this as well, because Alessi, there's another video I sent you. I think the caption says something like, it was from Cheadle's testimony. She says something about 18 minutes, and she confirmed this was one of the things that she confirmed, which was good. But the police had reports 18 minutes before. I want to play it. They had reports 18 minutes before that the shooter, the person who ended up, Thomas Crooks, was on the roof. Do we have it?
There's a bunch here. Let me just pull up one.
Yeah, it should say something about like, nope, that's the Rep Fallon one, not the Mace one. Go to Young Americans, that one. Hit that one. Yeah, that one. That's what I want. Play it.
That at 5:45 p.m., approximately 18 minutes before President Trump took the stage, the Beaver County Emergency Services Unit noticed the shooter on the roof and photographed him. Is that a fact or not?
That is the information that I have from the FBI's report, yes.
You haven't been willing to share whether or when this was communicated to the Secret Service, so I'd like to get into the difference between suspicious activity and threatening activity. Is it suspicious or threatening if an individual is seen around the perimeter with a rangefinder? Is that just suspicious?
That could be termed as suspicious.
If that same individual with the rangefinder is found on a rooftop, is that still just suspicious, or is that considered threatening?
That could be termed still as suspicious.
All right, my time is over.
Today,
You're not gonna
Okay, let's, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Well, this has been interesting.
That's
so
a no.
The suspicious. When it comes to suspicious, here's the thing, and I don't know. Every site, you're going to have suspicious people, pretty much. And a lot of times what happens is you'll have somebody that kind of pings us and somebody brought to our attention, and you'll have like a protective intelligence, usually it's a local police officer teamed up with an agent, plain clothes, and they'll go talk to the person. And a lot of times it's just a weirdo. It's nothing. Obviously, this turned out to be something. So having a suspicious person, I've seen some pundits and some people talk about, well, why did they allow him on stage? If there was this guy out there, well, you let him on stage because somebody's suspicious, but that's not going to be, just because a guy's acting. Now the rangefinder shit
That's
is
what I was
fucked
gonna
up.
say.
The rangefinder, I've never heard of that in my
Yeah.
fucking life. I mean, I've never been in a site where I've heard somebody with a rangefinder looking at the stage. Never. Now you may, like I said, most of the time when you have a suspicious person, it's because they're acting in an odd way or they're doing something.
Yes.
Sometimes those people even turn out to be we call lookouts, which is maybe somebody on record with us. Many times they're harmless, but there'll be some weirdo that keeps showing up at sites. You know what I mean? They have some obsession or something like that with the protectee, and they haven't shown, but obviously that interest is, get your antennas up, and so we may know about that. That happens sometimes. This situation. And the unfortunate part is they never located this guy, Crooks, before he was able to get on that roof with that weapon. And
meaning law enforcement.
Meaning law
'cause
enforcement
people
or, somebody, because I know they were from what reports were, they were looking for this kid. Like he was acting strange. Somebody had taken a picture of him. He had a rangefinder. Why that wasn't, if ideally what would have happened is like they would have contacted him, held them a moment, and then maybe a Secret Service, like a protective intelligence person or somebody, could talk to them.
Right.
And
Cheadle just said in that testimony,
Yeah.
she's saying they actually had him on the roof at that point, 18 minutes. What you're talking about is in the build up to that, where he's around.
He's around the building, and they say
Right.
suspicious. If you have somebody suspicious, there's nothing wrong with going up and talking to somebody.
Sure.
You're not violating anybody's rights. And a lot of times you'd be surprised if you ask them, "Hey, what's in the bag? Can I take a look?" And they'll give you consent. I mean, to look in there. But once again, this wasn't in the secure zone, so meaning that he wasn't screened. Obviously, the area. I mean, I'm just going by
correct. No,
I'm going by from what we know. So he's outside of that, and that's where going back to if that had been pushed out and included that building, this would be a different situation. It's what it sounds like. And once again, this is all my opinion and my conjecture, just based off what I know from this information. But yeah, and so there was communication was the biggest problem, but also with that situation, I don't know what was communicated back to. Like I said, going off the testimony I heard on Capitol Hill, there were several people that were pinging that, like, I want to say 5 or something like that. There was other suspicious people that were communicated to the service and to
Right.
and he was one of those 5. And on top of that, and it was a really hot day, and there was several medical issues in the crowd. Not saying that makes this
No, I
okay,
understand.
but there's a lot going on, and I feel like, and this is conjecture, I feel like some of it somehow the kid got lost in the mix. This guy on the outside here, I don't know how. Once again, I can't explain how all this happened, and that's why I feel like communication became a big issue, and why I think it's been talked about here is how is that information being. How are we sharing information? How is the locals PD getting that information to us? How are we getting information to them? Those type of things. And like I said, even with the guy who was like, I told the Secret Service to post this, what leading up to that, if he truly thought that was the case and he thought that was covered and we thought it was covered and it wasn't covered, that's obviously that's the biggest hole in the whole thing. I don't know, once again, this is conjecture. I don't know how it happened. But it's definitely something that needs to be, and down the road, I guarantee you, this incident is going to be used during every training
That's right.
throughout for the rest of the. We still train or we still look at scenarios that happened in the past during our history,
Sure.
and learn from them. Whether it's the Reagan, maybe go back to Squeaky Fromm back in the 70s, or even going back to JFK.
Squeaky Fromm?
There was a gal, she was like back in the 70s. They got a couple shots off at Gerald Ford. It was like, I don't know the backdrop of it, but there was a couple. Gerald Ford, a couple times in the 70s are crazy anyway. She just popped off some rounds, I think, from a handgun, but didn't really get close. But it was still, a fucked up situation. And she did it from a distance. I don't remember the whole background, but there was situations like that. And this incident's going to be used. Every class that comes in, every new agent's they're gonna use this. It's gonna be heavily investigated. There's lots of video to see how this happened and learn from it. But yeah, I don't have the answers to, there really is no good answers to all of this, but it's clear, and everybody knows it's clear, and it's obvious when you see it that has to be, that roof has to be taken out of play. And then for the life of me, I don't know why it wasn't.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.